The power of our consciousness is one of the best assets we have for our wellness, and that especially is true for the musculoskeletal system. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. So the musculoskeletal system is, and we'll talk a little bit more later about the different kind of muscles, smooth muscle versus skeletal muscle versus cardiac muscle. But when we think about the musculoskeletal system, we're pretty much talking about skeletal muscles, okay? And skeletal muscles are voluntary, which means we have to command them to move. So this is where it becomes extremely obvious that our consciousness, our awareness, is the only thing that participates in the in the directives according so for the muscles, right? So if the muscles aren't going to just move themselves, we have to tell them to move. So the more consciousness, the more awareness we have, the better off. Now, as you know, we've been going along in this wellness program, and I'm really all about consciousness, and part of that kind of ties into this concept of the placebo effect. If you know that in the research, they have to do a lot of research to show that their drug or their method is more effective than placebo. In other words, more effective than just the mind participating in the healing process. Well, if the mind is so powerful that it participates in the healing process, why don't we learn how to use that and get the benefit out of that, right? And that's kind of what my approach is, my philosophy is for this course. So in the muscle system, we've got two things. We've got the muscle physiology, but muscle usage. So let's do a little bit of breathing, and I'm going to talk about a product that can really help us become more aware of it, and it's a nice sports gel, but this Cool Azul sports gel we can rub onto the muscle, because it's always nice when we're doing an awareness and breathing in and feeling the power and the movement, feeling what we're doing in our body, especially when it comes to the muscles, is to have a little awareness. This is where I'm working, and so we'd take a little bit of this, squirt some out. It's a very creamy gel. I'm at the bottom of my bottle. But it's a little creamy gel, kind of looks like a slimy aloe vera, which is what it's based in. It's based in aloe vera, but it goes on real smooth and it absorbs into the tissue really easily. So it's not oily, it's not greasy, and what a wonderful smell and refreshing, and it's got the camphor in it, and it gives a little tingle to the skin. So this is a really, really good product. Not only is it a great sports rub, but it's a good product to be in very small. It doesn't take very much, and you can cover the whole area, and you can really enhance our awareness as we're breathing. So I'm going to breathe in and feel these muscles, and again, we're going to talk a lot more about the specifics, but the muscles have all those mitochondria, and they're producing energy, ATP. They require a ton of ATP, a whole lot of ATP to function. And so there's just a lot of power generation there, and of course that power translates into movement power, and so we get a chance to feel that, and you can see me feeling all that. This is nice to feel. We sit a lot, we don't really feel our power, and so let's breathe in and really connect with some of that, and then we'll use some of the Cool Azul to enhance that awareness. Okay, so I'm trying to think of where to start, but probably the arms, these are very, very, there's not a lot of autonomic processes happening in the arms. The arms don't move unless we tell them. If you start breathing into the trunk and the muscles in there, they don't move as much. They're more stabilizing and posture muscles. They're still skeletal muscles. But okay, so breathe into your right hand, or it doesn't matter which hand, but I'm going to choose my right hand. And just wiggle the fingers and do a little movement and feel the movements, okay, and feel how the muscles contract. I'm telling these fingers to do something, okay. So I'm going to breathe my awareness into this, and I'm going to feel that movement, feel the wrist. And again, I just put on the Cool Azul on my arm, so it has a bit of a tingle. Okay, the wrist, the forearm does a lot more twisting. Elbow, bicep. Okay, and again, I can touch this. I can use the Cool Azul also to give me that, but I'm just breathing in and I'm feeling the movement, feeling the power. Okay, so that's my right arm. I'm feeling it, and now once I kind of aware of it, I can feel where things are tight, and that's of course where you can do a little self massage. You go, wow, I didn't realize that was so tight. And breathing in and becoming aware, this is your consciousness. If you don't know that you're chronically tight and carrying tension all day long, then you can't do anything about it. And then you go maybe once, every 3 months when someone gives you a gift certificate, you go get a massage, and wow, you're all bound up and all knotted up. Well, why are you carrying those knots around? You don't have to do that. You could be nice and relaxed and smooth. Okay, and so I did the right arm and breathe into the left arm. Again. Okay, so in a few breaths I get connected. I'm going to breathe into left shoulder. And again, I'm going for muscles. I'm really feeling the muscles, the material between the skin and the bone, right? This is the meat. And then the other shoulder. And then the back and rib cage. You can rock the shoulders around. You can, do the little disco dance in your chair. And get the body to roll around. The arms pulling back, shoulder pulling back. You get all these lat muscles back here. Now, ideally, I'd be, without a whole lot of clothes on, slathering a little bit. You don't have to tell you, just a little bit goes a long way with the Cool Azul, and that can increase my awareness. And goes, shifting in your seat a little bit. I'm going from my right hip to my left hip. I'm putting different weight, so I'm feeling the muscles of the abdomen, transverse, oblique, all these different muscles. And I'm feeling the power, feeling the contraction, feeling the muscles move. And now down the legs, right leg, thigh, down to calf, surrounding the knee. We'll talk a lot more about joints and how the muscles go in and surround the joint. You can feel that, especially in the knee. It's the largest, one of the largest. I think it's probably from a standpoint of the muscle system, the largest, easiest one to be into when it comes to feeling it. Calf, ankle, foot, toes. Get the toes. All those little muscles. And then left thigh, front and back, knee, calf and shin, ankle, get all the little toes. Okay, so those are the muscles. That's what moves us around. That's our ability to move and be moving forward in life. I'm trying to think of the metaphysical, kind of like what does it all mean? The power, the directiveness of our life, the decision making is sort of in the muscles. That's where it's all at. Okay, so now I've got, what I didn't do is the head, and so I'm going to go ahead and feel the neck, spine and neck. All the little muscles in the spine, wrap, and then the neck. Sides, usually both two sides are the more important. Right side, left side, and then up into the head, jaw, face. Get all the muscles in your face moving, smile, frown, so feeling all those open. The eyes have muscles that move the eyes around. Everything needs muscles to move. There's some muscles that you can wiggle your ears. I can't do that. See, there's muscles I'm not using very well. Okay. Breathing into the head, feeling all that musculature. Okay, so I think I've covered my body in awareness and consciousness. Now, that was real quick. As I go through that process of becoming aware, I start becoming aware of what's tight, of what's maybe dark, what's cold, what's not getting good circulation, and I can grab my Cool Azul. This might take, 15, 20-minute little exercise here, and I use the word exercise as a mental participation, not as a, exercise. But I could slather some Cool Azul, where, as long as I can reach it, because the part that I'm feeling very tight is deep in the back, and so we'll talk more about how to access. So we're just getting in touch, in tune with the muscle system. I'm not worried about the skeletal system. I'm just kind of talking about the muscles right now, all the meat that moves the body around, okay? And these are skeletal muscles. They're voluntary. We direct them, you know, feeling all the different places. Now, especially if you've had an injury, a stroke, or surgeries, or things that, you know, where things have been removed, cut, spliced, repaired, put back together, that's where you can spend a little more time and go in and you know, again, put some Cool Azul on there, get that awareness increased. If you didn't buy the Cool Azul and you have some peppermint oil, that will work too. You've got that tingle that comes from the menthol. And participate in becoming aware of your body. Sometimes becoming aware of your body means that you feel it and you start to feel the tension and all the rest of that stuff. Well, that's the reality. Well, don't you want to live in reality? I guess some people will say, no, I just want to be in my little fantasy world. But the fantasy world ends up crashing down, and it ends up in some kind of illness or debilitated state right at the prime of life, when, you know, you're hoping to be there for your daughter's wedding, and all of a sudden you're so too sick to function. And so that's where, you know, for me, having had cancer, having gone through a whole bunch of stuff early in life, it is worth it to put a little maintenance into my body, to become more aware of what's going on. And the muscle system is particularly vulnerable to that. If you crank up the muscles and they stay super tight all the time, they will break down. You will start to separate the tendon from the bone. You will start to get poor circulation and ischemia in the muscle, which makes it ache. Inflammation increases. We'll talk more about the connection between the muscle function and inflammation in the body. And so we've got, you know, an opportunity here to get in touch, get in tune. I'm going to highly recommend massage. You can start with self-massage. That's why I'm promoting the Cool Azul. Very, very reasonable, gentle self-massage tool that does not go on greasy. And the reason I like this is because you could do this, you know, in the middle of the day, and you won't get your clothes greasy and all the rest of that stuff. Now you could still, we've done some of this massage back with the sports gel, right? I'm sorry, the Ortho Sport, but that's an oil-based, right? That's oily. And currently it also still contains wheat germ oil. So those of you who are super sensitive to gluten, you might actually react to the massage oils that Young Living has. Thankfully, there's nothing gluten-y in this formula here, pretty sure. But yeah, I don't. It's not certified gluten-free, but I'll try to get them to do more of that. Okay, so hopefully this has been a useful exercise for you. Again, when you're breathing in and you feel a dark spot or a loss, I mean, it's dark, you don't feel it, go back in, do more breathing, touch that area, massage that area, get more in tune with it, get better circulation in there. We want to have whole connectedness. All right, so happy wellness, one day at a time. We'll see you tomorrow.